is a really cool thing. So get off your ass, let's do some math.
Oh, hi guys, I hear you need some help or understanding converting area units. Well, let's start off. We can have a look at this. There's a table here that gives you a conversion table that gives you all the information you need, and you might like to try and remember that, but if you're anything like me, I find things hard to remember. So let's see if we can do some work on understanding how to put this table together, and maybe that will help us in our conversions. Let's start by recalling that area is really a way of measuring the space inside an object, and it's measured by how many squares fit inside there. So here I have a red 1 square centimetre. So because it's a square, we know that all the sides are equal, and each of those lengths is 1 centimetre. So if we were to measure the area of this, the area would be 1 square centimetre. If we wanted to convert that to millimetres squared, well, we just convert each of the sides to millimetres. So if each side is 1 centimetre, that's the same as saying 10 millimetres. So to find the area of this square, we multiply, we'll count up the number of millimetre squares in there, we multiply the length by the width, because it's a square, they're both the same. So the area of this square is also equal to 10 millimetres multiplied by 10 millimetres, which is 100 square millimetres. So we can see that 1 square centimetre is exactly the same as 100 square millimetres. So to convert from 1 square centimetre to millimetres squared, we simply multiply by 100. For example, if I had 5.4 square centimetres, multiplying that by 100, I know that's going to be 540 square millimetres. In other words, in this 1 square centimetre here, we could fit in 100 square millimetres. So let's try converting now from square metres. Imagine that this square here is a 1 square metre, so each side is 1 metre long. If we wanted to convert that to centimetres squared, well, we would just have to convert each side and multiply it. We know that there's 100 centimetres in a metre, so we'll convert both these sides to 100 centimetres. So to work out the area of this square in centimetres, or square centimetres, we'd say the area is equal to 100 multiplied by 100, or 100 squares, because it's a square, which gives us 10,000 square centimetres. So we can say that 1 square metre is equal to 10,000 square centimetres. In order to convert from metre squared to centimetre squared, we'd need to multiply by 10,000. Let's continue with our discoveries of converting square units. Here we could have to imagine if we had a 1 kilometre long square, or 1 square kilometre, so each side of this square measures 1 kilometre. If we were going to change this into square metres, we'd need to work out how many little square metres would fit inside that 1 square kilometre. We know that 1 kilometre is 1,000 metres. So to work out the area of this square in metres, we'd say the area is equal to 1,000 metres squared, or 1,000 multiplied by 1,000, which is 1 million. So we can say that 1 square kilometre is the same as 1 million square metres. To convert from kilometres squared to square metres, we need to multiply by 1 million. Let's try and put together what we've done. So if we were looking at converting units or square units, the biggest unit we were looking at was kilometres squared, the next unit down would be metres squared, then centimetres squared, and then millimetres squared. So we said that to convert from kilometres squared or square kilometres to square metres was the same as multiplying by 1 million, because that's 1,000 times 1,000 metres squared in a kilometre square. To convert from metres squared to centimetres squared, we need to multiply by 10,000, or 100 squared. And to convert from centimetres squared to millimetres squared, we need to multiply by 100, that's 10 squared. If we were converting the other way, we do exactly the opposite. So changing from millimetres squared to centimetres squared, we divide by 100. Going from centimetres squared to metres squared, we divide by 10,000. And from metres squared to kilometres squared, we divide by 1 million. Remembering hectares also, the conversion for hectares was, if we were changing from hectares to square metres, we need to multiply by 10,000. And the reverse, of course, going from metres squared to hectares, would be dividing by 10,000. You could choose to remember these conversion tables, but I prefer to remember them by imagining squares in my head or writing them down to get my conversions so I don't have to remember all these conversion tables. Why don't you try these conversions? Try pausing the video and doing the calculations, and then after you've paused the video you can start it again and I'll put the answers in for you. So pause your video now and see how you go. Well, I hope you checked your answers and I hope you got them all right. Thanks very much. Bye. Hectares are an unusual measurement. They're a measurement of area. So 1 hectare would be the same as measuring a square that is 100 metres by 100 metres. So our conversion would be 1 hectare is equal to 100 metres by 100 metres, which is 10,000 square metres. So to convert between hectares to metres squared, we need to multiply by 10,000.